Perfectionism is seldom about being perfect. It's really a cloak of hiding all sorts of feelings about yourself. And in that cloak are feelings of, well, if I do everything perfectly, no one can criticize me. If I do everything perfectly, no one can find fault with me. If I do everything perfectly, no one can say anything bad and I will feel okay, because the criticism really hurts. Perfectionism is really about people pleasing, wanting other people's approval, hiding insecurity. And if I just try harder and be better and be smarter and be on top and be the best and be number one all the time, I'll be okay and I'll feel okay and I'll feel okay about myself and I'll be enough. Perfectionism is really this big cover up for shame. Instead of being okay with being where you are, with trying and getting as far as you get and keep going. When our perfectionism is about hiding insecurity, hiding our feelings of not being good enough, unless we are perfect, and putting immense amounts of pressure on ourselves, that's when perfectionism isn't so good. That's when it becomes unhealthy. It's this striving from a place that is not helpful. If we are striving to be better for other reasons that are more that are healthy, that are because we want to be better, we want to do well, we want to push ourselves, that's fine. But if we are running from aspects of ourselves or making our worth contingent upon being perfect, that's when it works against us. So let's do some tapping about these feelings that are underneath perfectionism. Perfectionism is a straitjacket, and you don't have to keep living with that. You simply have to move into a place of acceptance of who you are and loving yourself for who you are, as you are right now. So let's do some tapping about that. Follow along with me, tap where I tap, and repeat what I say, or change anything if it doesn't fit your situation. Tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I feel like I have to be perfect, I have to be perfect all the time, at any cost, I choose to deeply and completely love myself anyway. Tapping through the points. I feel like I have to be perfect. Everything I do has to be the best. No less will be accepted. I have really high expectations of myself. My performance is always stellar. My performance is always top-notch. In every area of my life. And if I fall short of that, I'm really hard on myself. If I don't measure up to my expectations and standards, I have a lot of criticism for myself. And I'm always carrying around all of this pressure. This pressure to perform and to prove myself. It's always there. And it's hard for me to not strive that much. If I say that I did my best and that was okay, it feels like I'm just being a wimp. Like I'm being okay with mediocrity. And to me, mediocrity is failure. Being okay or good is not good enough. This is what I learned. This is what I learned growing up. I had better be the best. I better be the smartest, the best in anything that I did. And I learned that to be perfect is how I get love. It is where my validation comes from. It comes from outside of me. That is what I learned. So if I look at this a little bit more closely, I see that this striving for perfection is all about caring what others think about me. It's about getting validation from outside of me. It's about getting my worth from outside of me. I'm always on the hook. I am always dependent on others for my value. And this is no way to live. And this has kept me tethered for my whole life. I'm not free this way. I'm not concerning myself with what I think about myself. And instead, I'm being consumed with how I appear to others. And what others think of me. And I'm basing my worth on that. And this has got to change. And it starts with me. I learned that love was conditional. It was conditional on me being a certain way, reaching a certain level of attainment. And all of that isn't true. My worth is inherent. My value has been there all along. I am not more valuable if I attain a certain level, or less if I don't reach that goal. Being perfect doesn't make me more valuable. This was simply someone else's ideals that they put on me. This is someone else's view of the world. And I had adopted it as my own. But this is one that I am ready to let go of. And when I let go of it, I'm able to find contentment within myself. When I let go of this all or nothing view, I can find happiness and peace within myself. I'm able to listen to myself and my needs, instead of acting reflexively out of an old wound. And this is putting me more in touch with my true self. This has helped me to tap into and know my value. It's okay to push myself and to strive to attain great things. But reaching that is not what determines my value. Caring what other people think is not something I have to keep concerning myself with. And instead, I am very concerned with what I think of myself. I am very concerned with my happiness in the moment. I am very concerned about my motivations. And this motivation of perfection is no longer serving me. And I am so ready to let this go. I am so ready to move on. So I give myself lots of love and acceptance. I give myself the permission to let this go. And I allow myself to simply just be. And it feels so good to do that. And I feel so free. Take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Thank you so much for joining me and tapping along with me about perfectionism. Keep it up. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much for working on yourself and coming along on this journey. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.